Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today's video is another in my Western Mountaineering field test series. So what I try to do in this series is test each of the Western Mountaineering sleeping bag models that are available to me in temperatures that are really close to the rating of the sleeping bag. So in today's video, we're going to look at the Western Mountaineering Sycamore. It's rated to 25 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 4 degrees Celsius. And it comes from Western Mountaineering's microfiber line, meaning that this outer shell material is made from a microfiber fabric. It's really breathable, but it's not real water resistant. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to sleep, the field is going to be my back patio. I meant to do this video about a week and a half ago up in the mountains, but I got COVID. So I've been really sick for the last couple weeks, but that's over. So I'm really excited about this one because the forecast low tonight is 21 degrees Fahrenheit. The bag's only rated to 25 degrees Fahrenheit, but I did send it back and get it overfilled, and they added another couple ounces of down to it, which they say will lower the temperature rating of the bag by 3 to 5 degrees. So with the overfill, I'm hoping that that'll be enough to keep me warm and comfortable tonight. So we're going to find out. I still have to get my sensor push weather data loggers out so that we can see what temperature it is outside. And I'm going to put one in my sleeping bag too so that we see what the temperature is inside the bag all night. So in all of these field tests, I wear the same thing. I've got on a pair of day hiker merino wool socks. They're medium weight merino wool sock, come up about there. I've got on this cheap polyester lightweight base layer. Bought it off Amazon. The brand name is Hero Biker. It only cost me $20 for both pieces. So as a standard dress in these field test videos, I'm wearing these wool socks, this lightweight polyester base layer, and a wool cap. And that's pretty standard for what sleeping bag manufacturers expect you to be wearing in the temperatures that they rate the bags at. Now, Western Mountaineering rates their bags conservatively, and they rate it based off of a lot of input and owner feedback. And some of their bags, they have had ISO tested or EN rated. And the ratings of the Western Mountaineering bags that they have had tested generally fall between the comfort and limit range. I own several Western Mountaineering sleeping bags, and I have found that the ratings are spot on or a little conservative. So it's going to be really exciting tonight because I don't use this bag very often. I usually am sleeping in colder temperatures than this, but I'm really excited about doing this tonight. It's a work night and I'm really tired. So this is going to work out great. So what I'm going to do, I just want to show you my pillow setup for tonight. This is really what I've been going with a lot lately. These both come from Goose Feet Gear. This one has 2.5 ounces of down in it, 850 down. And this one here has 5.5 ounces of 850 fill power goose down. So what I do is I take this pillow and I just slip it inside this pillow. And then cinch that up. I got a nice little half-pound package. I mean, this is really, you know, you wouldn't want to backpack a half-pound pillow, but this is heaven. So I wanted also, so here's the wool cap that I'll be wearing tonight. Now this is an expedition weight cap, but as I'll explain here, I don't sleep in the sleeping bag quite like it's designed to be slept in. And I'll show you what that is for me. So this bag is real roomy for me, so I can turn within the bag. I don't want to have the bag roll with me. So when I turn from side to side, I can't have that hood cinched up like this, or else I'll be just turning my face into a bunch of nylon and down. So this bag doesn't have a neck collar on it where I can separate my head from the rest of my body. I want to show you here on Western Mountaineering sleeping bags, you've got this draw cord around the neck area, and you've got this draw cord that cinches around the hood area. So I just wanted to show you what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on cinching up just the lower part, just the neck area, and not cinch up the hood. So when I get snug down in there tonight, I'm going to have it drawn tight here to try to keep drafts from going down into the bag, because I don't have the luxury of a neck collar inside here. And I can leave this relatively open. I can stuff my pillow in there. So basically that's going to be my setup there. It might be a little tight right there, but my neck will be down in there. And this will just, the hood basically just holds my pillow. But if I wasn't quirky with my side sleeping habits, if you want to cinch this up around your face, I mean, that's what it's designed to do. So I'm going to be sleeping on my X-Bed Mega Mat. It's been, I don't like it lofted really high, so this is just what it naturally inflates to, and that's comfortable for me. I only weigh about 155 pounds, and I'm about 5'10" and a half. So I did do a video review of this awesome sleep pad, if you want to check it out on my channel, the X-Bed Mega Mat. And then I'm just going to put my sleeping bag right on top of there. And I got my Western Mountaineering down booties, and I'm just going to utilize these for walking out to the back porch and then walking back in the morning, just so that I got something to protect my socks. These have a Tough Tech sole bottom, but I'm not going to wear these in the sleeping bag. This is just for walking out there and coming back in. Oh, saying that it might snow a little tonight in between the hours of 9 and midnight. So that might be fun. I have slept in a snowstorm in one of my microfiber outer shell bags, being the bristlecone. And it did wet out a little bit, so it'll be interesting to find out if we do get some snow, how it holds up to that. Super tired. I've had a long day at work. So we're gonna head out onto the back patio. I'll throw my pad down, throw the bag down. I'll get all settled in the bag and see how this thing sleeps. Okay, so the most recent forecast now is calling for 22 degrees tonight, and they've taken the snow out of the forecast. Right now I've got one of my sensor push devices here on a table over there. It's been sitting there for a little bit, and it's reading 28.1 degrees. I'm currently at 10:30 p.m. And so I'm going to take this other one and put it in a sleeping bag and see what temperature it is inside there throughout the night. So I'm ready to go to bed. I didn't wear the down booties, I just wore some tennis shoes. So we'll take a look at everything in the morning. And I think I'll do fine. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is this bag features continuous baffles, and I went ahead and shook all the down to the top side of the bag, or most of the down at least. I've really got very little insulation on the bottom side, and I've tried to drive most of it to the top because it's going to be a little chilly tonight. So I'm going to put this down in the footbox section. Take my tennis shoes off. Turn my little lantern off. Well, that's going to do it. Good night. I've got this on an imaginary timer, so it should go off any second. Okay, guys. Good morning. I'm done. I'm cold, and it's a couple hours before I was going to get up. Okay, here's the debriefing. That did not turn out anywhere near like I thought it would. As a matter of fact, it was the most miserable night I've spent outside in years. But it's not the fault of the sleeping bag. Actually, I identified 4 factors that made the night tough for me. So you saw me all snuggled down there, and I fell asleep within about 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe. And I slept solid until about, I checked my phone and it was 12:15. And I was cold. And I remember at that point doing something which I know not to do, but I kind of tucked my head down into my bag and I was breathing into the bag, and you don't want to do that. And I know better than that. But I was cold and I was really tired, and I just kind of, it was almost second nature just to, tuck my head down in there, breathed into my bag for a while, and it warmed up. And I looked at the analytics on the weather sensor, and what happened was at about midnight, the inside of the sleeping bag was about 75 degrees, and then it spiked up after I kind of burrowed my nose into the bag. It got all the way up to like 83 for a while, and then I could tell right on the graph that it dropped off because I had pulled my head out of the bag. And then the temperature went down, and I just got colder because I had breathed all that moisture into the bag. And then as that got cold, I got chilled. Now, I've said before in my videos that on the colder weather bags, all the extra room inside doesn't bother me. I don't interpret it as cold spots. But on these warmer weather bags, like the Sycamore, the Mighty Light, and even the Badger at 15 degrees Fahrenheit, I can interpret the extra space as cold spots, and last night I did. Now, the forecast was for 22 degrees. It got down to 18.7. And that's not that cold. And I think under normal circumstances, I would have been able to sleep comfortable. But here's what happened. I didn't even think about it, but we have several fires burning all around us, and the air quality is really, really poor. And I'm still trying to get over COVID. And so when I woke up at midnight, I had massive sinus congestion. I could not breathe at all out of either nostril. And now, after thinking about it, that's what it was. My sinuses got inflamed. I couldn't breathe. So then I had my head out of the bag for the rest of the night, and not having that top collar, I'd get drafts going down in there where I had breathed in bags, so I was getting chills, but I had to keep my nose out. So I just had a really poor night's sleep. So the forecast was off by 4 or 5 degrees. I was breathing all the particulates from the fires, which caused my sinuses to swell up and not be able to breathe. I've still got the COVID, and I can really feel it in my lungs this morning, where I wasn't feeling it before this little fiasco. But now I can still feel that COVID in there, and I've really been run down. And if I was healthy and the fires weren't going and I had some fresh air to breathe, it would have been a completely different story. But it did bring up a couple points. Is I would never go into the field bringing a bag that was rated to whatever the forecast is. That's not very prudent. I'm always going to bring a bag that's rated at least 10, if not 20 degrees colder than the forecast. Because I have the luxury of basically truck camping, I can bring a couple sleeping bags, and I usually do, just in case. If I were bringing this bag with me expecting 25 degree temperatures, and the temperature ended up getting down to 18 degrees, I know that if I just had my down jacket on, some down pants on, down socks on, and a down balaclava on, I could sleep much colder than that. But for the purposes of this video, I chose to just use the base layer, some wool socks, and a wool cap. So if you're actually out camping, it would be real easy to layer up just a little bit and survive the night just fine. I didn't allow myself that luxury, and by 3:15 a.m. I had to come inside. I laid down in my bed here at home, tried to get a couple hours of sleep before work, and I just couldn't. So really what I found out, and I've slept weeks and weeks and weeks in Western Mountaineering sleeping bags, and they all seem to keep me warm and comfortable at 5 degrees below the rating. But I have had all of them overfilled. And then I have been comfortable in a couple of the models well below 5 below the rating. But like I say, this is not a bag that I use a whole lot. It's a very impressive bag. And if I knew it was going to get down to 18 degrees, I would probably have called it a challenge night. Because I really, in these videos, I want to test the bags. I want to sleep in the bags as close to the rated temperature as possible. But, you know, for that first couple hours, I was very comfortable and warm. And it was interesting because inside the bag, the temperature from 10:30 till midnight, it was really only in the 70s, high 60s and 70s in the bag. And I was uber warm. I was really warm the first couple hours. But I got cold, most likely because there was no neck collar on there, and I must have got draft going down in there, and I put my nose into the bag to kind of warm up. And I was half awake when I did that, and I knew I was doing it, and I didn't care, and I know I shouldn't do it. And I paid the price, because after breathing into the bag for probably 15 minutes or so, and then realizing I couldn't breathe at all, and getting out my nose out and getting fresh air again, then the lack of the neck collar allowed air to come into the bag and chill me further. The temperature dropped pretty quickly. It was 28 degrees at 10:30 and it was 19 degrees at midnight. So it was in the upper teens for most of the time that I was trying to sleep. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I thought sure I'd sleep like a log and come back and go, man, these Western Mountaineering sleeping bags are great. Well, I'll tell you, they are. But due to a series of a combination of a few different factors, made for a bad night for me. But that's, you know, you'll have that. But overall, I've had way more awesome nights sleeping in Western Mountaineering sleeping bags than last night. So it just happened to be an awesome Western Mountaineering sleeping bag that I was sleeping in when I had a miserable night. But, you know, at 3 o'clock this morning, I was like, oh, well, that's a fail. I'll just have to try it again later. And then I thought about it was, no, I mean, I think it's good that you see this, because you never know what variables are going to come into play when you're up in the hills. So if you like this field test or found it entertaining at all, please click like and subscribe to my channel, please. I'd really appreciate that. That'll help me out. So I'm going to continue bringing you more of these Western Mountaineering field test videos and gear review videos, and as well as taking you camping with me. So now that I'm over the sickness, I think here in a week or two we're going to get up in the mountains and we'll look at a lot of different stuff. But until then, stay safe out there and have fun.